Hi guys, Alex Ellis channel here. You're joining me for an update video on a pretty hot day, but I can't have the fan turned on at the moment because the camera is sitting on top of it. So it's a big square thing. Anyway, so I know that I normally do my update videos sort of more towards the start and end of the school holidays, but this one's going to be a bit of an exception because there's a few things that I actually want to talk about today. So I figured that I'd bring my update forward by about a week and a half, so that's pretty much a good place to start actually. The school year's coming back up again. It'll be my last year of secondary school, so yeah, so good. But I have to say that it will be good to be back because it's been a really long summer holiday. It's been quite hot, and to be honest, I'm looking forward to going back to school, see my friends, and yeah. Well, we all as part. I've always enjoyed school. You know, I do want to be a teacher one day. So, for those of you who didn't know that, but that's okay. But on to the focus. Obviously, this update video, so I won't stall any longer. So before the school holidays is over, I am going to try and go on another trip into central Wellington again. My focus this time, as well as looking for lifts to film, I'm actually going to do a bit more of a bus focus. You may remember a while ago, where is it on this channel? I did a video called Day with the Buses. It was basically I went to Wellington railway station on a weekend when all the train lines were shut and filmed all of the rail replacements coming in and out of the station. I want to do a similar sort of. I want to start making more videos like that. They do require quite a bit of editing, but it's so satisfying when you finish one and when it goes online. So and this video has done quite well actually. It's had 228 views, which isn't too bad actually for one of my videos. I mean, it depends. Some of my videos have had more views than others. I mean, my siren videos had over 3,000 views, which is the siren going off at Plymoughton, as opposed to only 433 on my Schindler 5500 video. But more about that in a minute, because I do have some Schindler news for you in a moment. So yeah. Anyway. So I want to do more videos like that. I'm planning on doing one at Wellington railway station and filming the buses coming in and out, sort of round by the bus station area in Wellington. And I want to get that done as soon as possible because I want to get it done, or maybe even get a couple of those done before the trolley buses get withdrawn in 2017 or whenever they're doing that. So time is running out to do that. So I want to do that, and also I want to do one in Lower Hutt. Near Westfields. For those of you who don't live in Wellington, the Westfield Queensgate Shopping Centre, orange and barley, lovely. So outside Westfields in Lower Hutt, there's a load of bus stops, and I want to film some of the buses coming out of those bus stops at the end because it's a one-way bus stop. So it'll be really nice, I think, to film some buses there too. So, but that one I would probably say for a school holiday one, because there will be more buses on a weekday than there would be on a weekend. But I don't know, maybe I will do it on the weekend, I don't know. But so that's what I want to do in terms of buses. Otherwise I haven't got any buses I'm intending to film. I know that there is the hybrid bus trial, and unfortunately I wasn't able to visit the Volvo hybrid bus when it was on its open day because I was in Napier. Oh, I love that drink, it's so nice. But never mind, I did get to film two buses when I was stuck at Auckland Airport. Obviously there was the terminal transfer bus, which is a brand new Volvo B7R, came out at the end of 2015, and also there was the MCV Evolution on the hotel transfer, which if I hadn't have got stuck at Auckland Airport due to Wellington being shut due to fog, which if you haven't seen my video stuck at Auckland Airport, then you really should go and watch that because it will explain what happened. Then, so yeah, if I hadn't got stuck at Auckland Airport overnight, then I wouldn't have actually filmed that. I did go on the other terminal, I did go on the other hotel shuttle as well, the Design Line body bus, but I didn't manage to film it. It was, you know, mainly because it was late at night, I was tired, and also I was sitting too far forward to actually be close enough to the engine to film, and that bus got really busy. Well, so did the MCV actually, but they both got really, really busy. And trying to get out of the Design Line was manic because the back door wasn't working on the Design Line one, which I'm guessing is why the MCV did it the following day, because the other one was probably having its back doors fixed. Anyway, enough about that. So you're probably wondering what that bit of Schindler news was. Well, the news is that there are some new lifts which I am yet to film. I might have mentioned this one in the last update video, that the Upper Hutt Mall, which has got two Otis Gen 2 lifts in it, by their atrium they've built another lift shaft, and they've put in a Schindler 5500. Now the Upper Hutt Mall has got massive no photography signs by the doors, and last time I went there, it was actually, the mall was closed. The thing is that there's a shop in the mall called the Warehouse, and the Warehouse is open till late at night, even when the rest of the mall is shut. So the mall has to stay open so that people can get into the Warehouse and into the car park until the Warehouse closes. But there is a new lift there. I wasn't even aware that they'd switched from Otis to Schindler. So yeah, and so it was very much a surprise to me when I went in there and found it was a Schindler 5500. But I like that, because I think for the last 2 years I would have said I kind of like Otis Gen 2s more than Schindlers. But I think with the 5500, I think I like the 5500 now more than I like the Otis Gen 2. So that's kind of interesting. Oh, that drink just splashed into my eye. Oh, great. So at least that's not as bad as me smacking my head whilst getting out of a Schindler 3300 in Napier. It was such a nice lift though, that 3300, I say. Other news is there is also another new Schindler at Wellington Airport. One of the neighbours is looking at me, not realising that I'm recording a video, but never mind. And so yeah, but sadly when I was there I wasn't able to film it. When we arrived at the airport to go to Auckland, we were running a bit late and we were in a rush. And when I was coming back from Auckland, I was just so eager to get home after having been stuck in Auckland overnight. I genuinely didn't care that I didn't get to film it. But I've got my grandparents coming over from the UK soon, so that should mean 1 or 2 more trips to the airport, so hopefully I'll be able to film it on one of those trips. I say hopefully because the day they arrive, I've got to go into school for like a couple of hours in the morning, and depending on how long they want us to be there for, it will depend on whether or not I get to the airport to meet them. But I should be going to the airport with them to see them off when they go back to the UK. So if I don't film it when they arrive, I'll definitely film, and then I should hopefully definitely be filming it when they go back. I do know that it is a new Schindler. What I don't know is if it's a 5500 or a 3300. The thing is here is that in most countries you'll notice that Schindler are using one set of fixtures for the 3300 and a very similar set of fixtures for the 5500, the Linear or Line A, whatever it is, and the FIGS for the 3300. But in New Zealand, they don't seem to be doing that. They seem to be using FIGS fixtures for both types of lift. Not always, because I have seen the Line A fixtures, or Linear fixtures, or however the hell you pronounce that, used on 5500s and others, particularly the 300 series version. But they've actually been using FIGS buttons and indicators on most of the 5500s I've seen here, which is really interesting. But either way, they're pretty similar, and it's a really nice fixture line, and I like it. It's way better than FIGL, because I wasn't really a fan of Schindler FIGL. I thought there were too many design issues with it, particularly the European version, where I do like FIGS, and and that. So that's good. Good. So yeah, so there is, so that's always that. So that's why I hadn't had a closer look at it. I remember that when I was at Wellington Airport before, I saw that they were building a new lift shaft, and I thought, well, they're not even, well, there's probably going to be some time before they finish that. Then they actually finished it pretty damn quick, and it's now in service. So yeah, so I look forward to riding it whenever I get the chance to. So yeah, so that's 2 new Schindlers. More news for lifts. You may have seen my video, End of a Lift, which I posted recently. Let me just open this up and see that there's a comment on here. So this is about the H malt being removed, which was my my first ever gated lift. And this is sort of a tribute / update video thing with some sad music and nicely edited. And somebody here has commented saying it has been gone for a while. Before they closed the building, I jumped on top of it and had a quick look. Which is something which, if you posted that comment, I really don't recommend though that you jump on top of a 1940s gated lift, particularly if you don't have experience. And I'm pretty sure that somebody with that as a username, well, actually, I'm not going to say that. Given I'm not entirely sure that that person is experienced in getting on top of lifts. I mean, heck, I know quite a lot about lifts and I still won't get on top of one. No way will I get on top of a lift. That's just dangerous. I'm not against people doing lift surfing videos. I'm just saying that I wouldn't do it myself. I'm not complaining about that. Anyway, Kone held the maintenance contract for that H-Malt, so provided that Kone have still got the contract, then we could be looking at possibly a nice eco-disc, and I'm really, really hoping that it is, because I love eco-discs. They're my favourite modern lifts, and so really, really hoping though that we get a nice eco-disc or disc, so that'd be nice. But we'll have to see. It'll probably be a really long time before we even see what's happening with the lift in there, because it's really extensive, like total building refurbishment. I mean, part of the top floor at the back of the building has even been almost completely rebuilt. It is crazy. I mean, the building was in pretty poor condition, I must say. So when I was last there, really badly vandalised. The lift was always vandalised, and it got to the point where, while the building was still open, I said, I'm not riding this lift anymore because it's just vandalised, and it just looks and it feels like it's just gonna break. And so I thought, no, I'm not riding that. And then, sure enough, maybe 6 months after that, they closed down the building anyway for refurbishment. So that's probably going to be one less gated lift in Wellington. So yeah, and the last news is Concordian Stains, and I know that this update video is getting on, and it's going to be really long, but I've got quite a lot that I need to talk about. So I filmed those not last time I went to Wellington, the time before. So I did them as 2 separate videos this time, because I didn't feel like a lift tour is really necessary when you've only got 2 lifts. So they're 80s EPL Kones in the Concordian Stains department store, and you may have noticed though that the videos both say "last ever ride?" ? The reason why is because this year Concordian Stains closes down. It goes out of business, and the Australian department store firm David Jones takes over, opening its first New Zealand David Jones store. And there is going to be some store refurbishment going on, and it begs the question: will those lifts survive? Will they remain as they are, as 80s EPL Kones? Will they stay but get modernised, or will they be completely ripped out and replaced? Schindler have the maintenance contract, again, not surprising, because Schindler are, of course, the largest lift company in New Zealand. And also, but that does depend on whether or not they actually want to stay with Schindler for their lift contract, or whether they want to change from Schindler and go to a different company for their lift maintenance and installations and so forth. What I also don't know is if they plan on building, say, any more lift shafts. I mean, there are 2 lifts in that shop in different places, but the lifts, I remember, were still quite busy, and I certainly think that maybe one more lift shaft with a particularly larger lift I think would benefit the shop, because it is quite a big shop. It's on 3 floors. It's the biggest department store that I know of in the country. And it would certainly benefit from having more lifts, particularly if David Jones proves to be as popular as Kirk's was. Kirk's being the nickname for Kercordian Stains. So yeah, a couple of new Schindlers, which I hope to film eventually, hopefully this year, we'll see. Possibly a new Eco Disc at some point. Another thing, ACC building, a Lower Hutt. I remember it has 2 Eco Discs in there with KSS fixtures. It's reopened now. It's been reopened for quite some time. I would like to see if I can get back in there and ride the Eco Disc again. Just I haven't been able to get there on a weekday when the building's open, because the building is an office block and it's only open on weekdays, and I haven't been able to get down there on the right day yet to film the lifts. So we'll have to see. So lots to look forward to. Hopefully some new lifts are coming in this year. Also, I'm going to keep searching for old lifts to find. I may also do some looking around at some of my older videos to see if there are any lifts that I haven't filmed for a long time, or that I haven't filmed particularly well that could do with a retake, but that's probably not too many. So I'll keep looking for new lifts, keep looking for new buses. Some pretty good stuff to expect. It's pretty much a case of to be filmed at the moment. You know, I don't really have anything in the backlog to upload at the moment. So yeah, but otherwise for now, that's it, guys. This is what I meant when I said that the camera was sitting on top of the fan. It was sitting just sort of up here, so that's why I couldn't have the fan turned on this hot day, but I can now. I can have the fan on now because there's no longer a camera sitting on top of it. Last couple of things. Flickr. There's not much happening on Flickr. I better turn that fan off for a moment, otherwise it's just going to create wind noise on the camera. So, not much happening other than some car wash photos and siren photos and all my bus videos from Auckland and Napier. My bus photos from Napier can also be found, obviously, on Bus and Transport Enthusiast NZ, my Facebook page. Some aeroplane photos as well. There's all my bus photos from Auckland Airport and Napier can be found on there. And obviously everything else that I've been photographing since 2014. So, yep. So that's that. There's the Alex Ennis channel. This has been a really long update video, at 18 minutes long, but oh well. These were things that I just had to say, and yeah, that's it.